Hey, this is Hillary Baggett with Community Bloom, and I'm excited to introduce one of our founding members today, Lisa Storer, and she is with Midlife Pursuits. She's going to tell us more about that. And my goal with these founding member interviews is to give an opportunity for our founding members to introduce themselves to each other and to also share their passion projects. So, Lisa, are you ready to dive in?
I am ready. Thanks, Hillary. Glad to be
Thanks.
here.
Thanks so much for meeting me. All right, so you started a blog called Midlife Pursuits, and I would love to start with what made you decide to start that?
Well, let me see. So like I'm sure many women who are approaching that midlife period, started thinking. So it was like before I was turning age 50, maybe a couple of years before that. And I knew that my kids were going to be, leaving the nest, moving on. I had been a mom, that had been pretty much my purpose. I don't feel personally that I had a purpose other than that for those 20 some years. Really, they left when they were, early 20s. Um, so that's a long time to, be switching it up. Anyway, so I was thinking, what am I going to do? Really, like I didn't want to be sitting there after they left going, "Ugh, I'm just letting the time pass me by and not really, I didn't know. I had no idea. And because I didn't have any, like, I guess, hobbies or passion projects, I was like really feeling stuck. Um, but not wanting to stay stuck, I guess, too. Like I just knew that I didn't want to just let life pass me by. So I was like, what am I gonna do? I just started, I don't know, listening to people, putting people in my ears, I guess, that were sort of motivating. And I was like, you know what? I can do something. I can totally do something else with this over 50, period of life. I started getting more confident and I don't know, just like passionate, about just really doing something else, making a change. And so I decided to start a blog. I had thought about blogging before because I do enjoy writing. And but I was like, what am I going to write about? What am I going to write about? I don't know. Like, is it just going to be, about my life? What, am I, maybe I'll be a food blogger. Seriously, I thought about that because I do like to cook, but then I was like, yeah, maybe not that much. Um, so I had been, like I said, learning and sort of growing during this period. And I really got into um, practicing mindfulness and meditation. So I had taken some classes on mindfulness and I just started learning about how amazing the brain is and like all of the ways that your brain can change and mold and be like new and fresh. So I thought this it really helped me. It really did because I had been feeling like stuck, and I it helped me. I had been struggling for many years with like a low grade depression and anxiety that was really undiagnosed. And um yeah, so I the mindfulness practices and regular meditation, I felt like turned me around. Like I felt transformed. So yeah, I know. So I thought, that's what I'm going to write about. I'm going to write about how, things can keep you stuck, but you don't have to let it keep you stuck. You don't have to let that anxiety, that fear, or even that depression keep you down. Like I'm proof that this kind of thing, these little things that you can add to your day, um, can really help you. So I was like, that's what I'm going to write about. And it took me a while to come up with the name Midlife Pursuits because I was being a little perfectionist. um, it took me a long time, way too long to come up with the name. But once I got started and learning to blog, all the tech stuff too, and all of it just was super fun and exciting to me. And it really pumped me up and I became passionate. And I was like, I can really help other people. And um, I do have something to share. For so long I was like, I don't know. I don't know. What am I going to do? What do I have to say? But I really do. I have something to share because I know that it's helped me. So I know it can help other people. So that's really how I started my blog. And it's been since, I guess, 2018, yeah, that I've been blogging. And
Wow.
yeah, I know.
Very cool. So, your passion came out of a desire of your role change, your identity change, and you knew there was something still left in you, and you didn't want life to just be happening at you. But I guess the name Midlife Pursuits, that you're pursuing what your passion is and using your gifts of writing, and you shared earlier editing and proofreading. And for our founding members, they need to know that Lisa is your resource, perhaps if she's available. And, of like, hey, if you have a little writing project, say, hey, Lisa, could you give me some feedback on it? And let me just brag on you a second, Lisa. Before we started recording, I had asked you for some feedback, and you're very good and fair and honest with feedback that's always constructive and helpful, I know, for me. So I know that other people can look to you, and whether it's tech or writing or editing, I mean, all of those things are kind of muffled under the guise of fear, right? Of like, I don't know if I can do this. This might be too hard, too much.
Mhm.
But you are proof that learning something new, because even a practice like mindfulness and meditation can sound a little bit woo woo out there. And it's not. It's our brain gets overloaded. So we give it a place to focus, to be grounded, so that we can then move forward. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing. It really is. And I think, I don't know, it's just, I really do. I'm kind of it, the before me and the after me, I think is really, it's significant. You can ask my kids. But thank you
Oh,
so much for that, for those kudos. Yeah, thanks.
and good job receiving, right? Because so often it's hard for us to receive those compliments. But I think of part of the midlife experience, and sometimes we say midlife is anyone over 40, but there's this amazing blooming that happens in women. And I will say a lot of them, they're much closer to 50 and beyond, that they're just rising up and flowering, blossoming. And I love how you are trying to reach in there and just be honest about your story. I know my kids have noticed the difference in me of having this purpose of developing a membership community and community bloom, and this vision I have of a women's midlife network. And they're like, wow, mom, you're kind of busy all the time. I'm like, yeah, it's this new purpose. And I really want women out there to know that if you don't know what your mission and purpose is yet, it's okay. And it's
Mhm.
okay if it looks completely different than anything you've done before. But you can join a group of like minded women who are just ready to encourage you so that you can move forward. I love that.
Yeah. Mhm.
Well, did we then kind of cover what your blog is all about, or is there something else you wanted to share?
Well, I guess the blog is really about, again, it's about feeling good or feeling better in your, like, your mental and physical being, because I found too that feeling better mentally and emotionally has helped me feel better physically, and it's given me more energy. Like, I mean, energy is something that we need to really get out and do the things we want to do. I think that's another thing that held me back was, in addition to just feeling sort of stuck and sluggish and whatever, like I was like tired and, unmotivated. So feeling better mentally, emotionally helps you feel better physically, gives you that energy to do. And sometimes I think at this age too, we can go, oh, time is really running out, but it's not. I mean,
It's
it's
not.
constantly running. It's running, but it's not running out. We still have a lot of time left. There's a lot of time. And we have so much more to give too now, I think, at this stage, because we are wiser, that old older wiser thing. Like, it's totally true. We didn't used to think that when we were 20. We thought the older people didn't know anything, but like, seriously, not true. Like, I don't know, I just feel like if I knew now, if I knew then what I know now, what would I have done? But definitely, we have a lot more, we experience life experience, all that, so we kind of can navigate things a little bit better. And the blog is about becoming more resilient in this period, and being able to flow with the life's ups and downs that it's always giving us, all that stuff that's being thrown at us every day, whether it's someone cutting you off in traffic, or maybe someone's in that you love is seriously ill. There's a lot of stuff. So that resilience, I think, is really important.
Oh, that is so great. And I love what you said. What I just picked out right then was in the middle, because what I think of really as midlife is a little bit of the sandwich generation, because many of us still have parents who are living who may be getting ill. And we also have either children or adult children. And sometimes they need us and sometimes we don't. And we're kind of a bit in the middle of how do you kind of maintain, your sense of self, your sense of well being, and a healthy mind when sometimes we can feel pulled in so many
Mm,
directions. So I think that's really affirming for people, or validating of that, hey, we know this time of life can be energizing. It can also feel draining. And so how do we bridge that gap? And I think mindfulness and meditation is a great strategy and technique. So I hope you're going to give us a demonstration in the community for people to, learn from what you've shared. So I love it.
yeah, definitely.
Well, let's see. Let's see. Where can we find you online? I think I followed you at Midlife Pursuits. Is that right?
Yep. So, I'm, of course, my website, Midlife Pursuits. And then I also have, and you can sign up there to be on my mailing list, of course. And I also have a private Facebook group called Over 40 Making the Most of Midlife. So over there, we sort of chat about like this kind of thing, how we can really make the most of our midlife, and also like what is getting in our way, what might be holding us back, and just supporting one another. I think, like your community here, all community is just great. Just knowing that you're not alone, I think, is huge. Like, a lot of times we can get stuck in our heads and think, I don't have anyone to go to. I don't have anyone to share this with. No one really understands what I'm going through. Um, but as a matter of fact, people do. So, yeah, there's always someone out there who will understand and be there for you. So that's, and I go in the group, I'm regularly, and share like these kinds of things that I've learned, and just to give people that confidence and the knowledge that they can really, they can be resilient, they can find that calm, that peace, even in those times of you know the difficult times.
It's true. And I just read a piece today that said when we are connected in meaningful relationships in community, that it actually energizes our brain and it kind of helps us prune away those parts that are not helpful, or help us get out of those stuck points. So that's why community, wherever you find it, is going to help you. And it's okay if you try this group and it's not for you. And then you try this one and maybe it is, maybe it's not. But you will find the group of people that support you and really light you up. So, Lisa Storr, Midlife Pursuits, you are really an encouragement to us to move forward and get unstuck. So, I'm so glad you're part of Community Bloom. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Hillary. I'm so glad that you started this too. It's a great place.